Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the next topic and it's all about building the attack. So let's get started quickly. We have got a very interesting position. See, black king is stuck in the center, white is an exchange down and black has some problems on the dark squares here. We see the use of bishop pair by white very economically with minimal moves. He has managed to create a very strong attack. So right now there is no attack, he builds the attack. So he takes charge of this whole diagonal and uses this white squared bishop also beautifully. White simply tries to open the position. See, black king is in the center, white needs to open the center. So first he goes with the move bishop a3. I will not go into too much discussion here, we will see how the attack builds. Do enjoy this exercise, there are going to be some very nice fascinating lines. Black went qg5, he wants to trade the queens, white will not allow that. So he goes qb4. Very nice example of exploiting the color complex. The dark diagonal, the squares d6, f6, in some cases the c7, all black squares get exploited, and there is a beautiful touch of attacking the f7 square in many variations. So now comes queen d8. This move doesn't look forced, but the queen was about to enter d6. So it's very important to stop that. Comes c takes d5. An important move. Center has to be opened. Queen d5 allows qe7 mate. If e takes d5, see, it looks only very risky. There is the very strong re1 threatening bh5 check. So black has to play be6 first, and now still comes the move bh5. This bishop h5 gives a nice touch to the finishing here. Now see, rook e6 is threatened, and after the move qd7, how should white continue? Things look little difficult, but white uses everything. He goes f4. Now the threat is f5. kd8 perhaps forced, otherwise f5 would have picked the bishop, and now here still comes f5. The point is that after bishop f5, the rook penetrates on e7 and it's game over. Queen has no way to protect the square d6, and queen d6, b6 are serious troubles to deal with. It's a winning game now. Queen c8 allows qb6. So black took c takes d5, which was forced. White goes now rook c1. Very logical move, and there is a threat as well. Firstly, we can see that if rook a7 is played, then there is just qb8 attacking a7 and c8 both. The move bd7 looks forced, but we see that after bd7 there is the very interesting rook c7. Queen cannot take c7 because of qe7. So rook c8 challenging the rook, rook b7. Now white wants to go qd6. So rook c6. It looks as if black has managed himself well, but now comes again the strong move bishop h5. Initially it looks very difficult to understand what is this move doing, but if you see the weakness, this diagonal is weak and f7 is terribly weak. So the threat is queen f4 when it's impossible to defend f7 in a reasonable manner. In the book they have not covered what happens to e5. So I thought, let's see what can happen, because many things should happen here. And I came to the conclusion that the move rook b8 looks very strong. There could be other things as well, but I generally try not to use computer programs. If I am able to get a decent option, I try to go with it. Now see, rook c8 and bc8, there are two variations. bc8 looks very difficult to crack actually. After rook c8, there is the very strong qd6. The point is that now if rook takes b8, then queen e5 check. See the power of these bishops. Only move be6 when queen e6 check, qe7 checkmates. Thus the move bishop c8 is forced. Now after rook c8, qc8 loses instantly to qe7. Rook c8 forced, queen f4 check. White uses both these diagonals very nicely. qd7 forced, and now comes bishop f7 check. Look at the condition of the black king. The rooks are also in trouble. Now king d8 forced, king f7, then queen would be lost. Now comes queen a5 check. it's almost decisive. After rook c7, there is bishop g8, and after qc7, qd5 check. We see that after qd7, if white wants, he can just go bishop g8. The position would be winning for white. So here black goes with the move a5, immediately challenging the queen. He doesn't want the queen to remain on that diagonal. White goes queen f4, continuing the same idea. One idea is rook c7, other we already know. The threat is bishop h5. Now there is a major threat as well. After any move like a4, bb5 check, this is just to understand what's the threat. There is bd7, and now comes the very strong rook c7. Attacking the bishop, bishop into b5 loses to qf7 mate, and any move like rook c8 we can see is just too slow. There will be bishop takes d7, queen takes d7, rook d7, and after kd7, qd6 would mate next move with qe7. There is no rook c1 in most lines because bishop or the queen, one of them is always controlling c1. This game has various elements. Huge lead in development by white, black's king in the center, use of the bishop pair. So black goes bd7, stopping the move bb5. White goes bishop h5. It looks like black should return the exchange with rook g6, but it's already too late. Bishop takes g6, fg loses to queen f8, and hg allows the beautiful qh6. Again we see the dark squared bishop is very powerful. Queen f8 is mate. Bishop move to b5 would just allow queen f8, kd7, qf7. Again qe7 would be mate next move. So it's apparent now that it's game over. Rook f8 doesn't help because of bishop f8, followed by mate on f7. Black played rook g7, the last attempt to hold the game, but now still comes qd6. Now the threat is queen f8 mate. Rook g8 forced, and here comes rook c7. This is too much for black to bear now. See, there is nothing. There is the threat of bf7, kf7, rook f7, when the queen would be lost. Queen cannot go away because of qd7 mate. Rook c8 only option. Then as we discussed, there is bf7, kf7, rook d7 winning for white. This game was a superb example of building the attack, using the bishop pair, catching the opponent king in the center. I hope you will also enjoy this lesson like I did. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.